Hello, 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 and welcome back to March May's Midlife Dolly Crisis, and welcome back to another collaboration between myself and Kim over at The Dolls, The Witch and the Wardrobe. So we decided that as it was Barbie's birthday month, I know her birthday was actually at the beginning of the month, but it is still her birthday month, we would unbox a Barbie doll each. So this is hashtag Barbie birthday unboxing. Obviously Kim will be opening a Barbie on her channel, so please go and check her out. I will put a link to her channel, probably in the description of this video, and in the title as well. So the one I'm going to be unboxing, of course, is this one here. So this is Miss Astronaut, 1965. This doll was released last year, hence the fact she's got a 60th anniversary kind of label on the front there. The box is actually very nice. There's this really kind of nice image of her here on the side, and if we flip this over, so we've got 1965 there as well, you can see the full image there. You can obviously pause the video if you'd like to read what it says here. It basically says one tiny step for Barbie, one giant leap for dollkind, and then talks a bit about Barbie and her intergalactic life there. Now I didn't realise this, but this doll is actually a limited edition, so there are, down here it says there are no more than 20,000 worldwide. I don't know if 20,000 is good or not. I'm not sure how many these dolls tend to sell. I actually got this one reduced, so maybe they're not selling so well. I know they had previously done a reproduction of this astronaut Barbie before, and I know that people had been comparing them a little bit and basically saying that the previous reproduction was a lot better than this one because of certain details on the outfit. Honestly, although I'm a big science fiction fan, I did not buy this doll for the outfit. I bought it because I wanted to add more kind of retro looking dolls to my collection. I'm not saying I don't like the outfit. I kind of, looking at it kind of close up, it's actually very nice. There's kind of almost like a glitter in it, I think, as well. It seems to be shimmering a bit. Obviously, it's not quite historically accurate. This is not a sort of similar to the ones that they would have worn when they went to the moon, for instance. There's no oxygen for one thing, so she might have trouble breathing there. She does come with a helmet as well, so we'll obviously put that on also. I believe she also comes with a doll stand, and obviously we've got an American flag here for Barbie landing on the moon, so she can stick that in it. So, look, without further ado, I'm going to get her out and we'll have a close look at her. Okay, so she's out of the box. I do really appreciate, actually, the fact that they did not put tape in the main bit here. Basically, there were just lots of those kind of like weird rubbery things that were holding her in, and she was kind of on the back of this, which you were able to kind of slip through from the back. So you could preserve the kind of the top of this, which is nice. I do like this image. It's very kind of retro, sort of sci-fi, which I do really appreciate. I also really like the kind of the muted colours that they've used as well. So let's get rid of the box there. So here we are. So here is our gal here with all of the bits and pieces. The other thing I should have mentioned is she did have some kibble tags stuck in the back of her head, which I managed to get out. But again, it wasn't too bad actually. It wasn't as if there were loads and loads everywhere. Mostly she had kind of like bands around and stuff like that, rather than anything kind of too kind of like inserted, especially kind of in fabric like this, because I think it would definitely leave kind of holes in. Let's have a look at the bits and pieces she comes with before we look at the doll herself. So we're going to pop her over to one side. So she comes with a certificate of authenticity here. It basically says the same kind of stuff they all say, but at least this is on kind of like a nice kind of card, and the writing is in a sort of a golden colour. So she's a gold label, by the way. Barbie signature gold label, and the back is blank there, so that's that. She also comes with a doll stand. So this is basically the standard one that you would get to put around their waist. I was a bit surprised. I wasn't sure she was going to come with one which had the kind of attachments to her feet, but maybe she wouldn't have originally. I don't know, because of the boots perhaps. So this clips in there, and then that bit goes around the waist there. It looks very small, but I'm presuming it's going to fit around her. So that is the stand, which we always appreciate. Obviously it's not particularly special. This is hollow plastic. You can see the base is kind of hollow there. It's got Barbie on it. It might be nice if it had had a bit of gold detail on, perhaps, or something kind of a bit spacey, perhaps. But yeah, it's quite inoffensive, I suppose. And obviously the back is clear and the waist clippers as well. So that's the stand. We've then got a few bits here as well. So we've got the American flag, which is quite small, and I don't think she'll be able to hold it anyway. She's basically wearing kind of what look like oven gloves. Let me bring her on now. Yeah, she's basically wearing these kind of weird glove things. Gloves on dolls never really work, do they? Unfortunately. So yeah, she hasn't even got like sort of anything to put her thumb in. So they're just kind of plonked on there, unfortunately. So yeah, she can't really hold the flag. Maybe if she takes her glove off, she can, but obviously she's in space. She shouldn't be doing that because that's probably not a great thing, I wouldn't have thought. So as well as the flag, we've also got her helmet here, which I'm going to put on her just so we can see. There we go. Let's bring her up. There she is, floating in space. Just like Maureen Robinson in Lost in Space. There we go. The helmet is fine. I kind of feel like it's a very close fit. It's also not really attached to anything. So you don't want to look too closely because you'll realise that poor old Barbie is going to asphyxiate herself in space if she's not too careful. Also, speaking of helmets, her hair is gelled to high heaven. So I'm not really sure she needs the helmet at all, to be honest. She does have a really nice face. And I know a lot of people have been buying this doll, I think just to kind of redress her, really. She is obviously a blonde. She's got blue eyes, which are off to the side. She's got a nice red lip there. And she's got blue eyeshadow as well. So you can still see her eyebrows there. Her fringe doesn't completely cover them or anything. They are kind of a lighter brown, I suppose, and then her hair obviously is blonde. So she's got a very simple haircut, a kind of a page boy bob, really. It's kind of cut across the forehead and then all the way around. I guess it's quite a practical look for going into space. You don't want anything too kind of intricate or long, I suppose, particularly if you're going to be wearing the space helmet that she is. So if we go further down, we can have a proper look at her uniform or her spacesuit. So as I mentioned earlier, there seems to be almost kind of like a glittery kind of look to it. I don't know if it's just me seeing it, but it kind of, and I don't even know if you're going to be able to see it on camera, to be honest. It's kind of within the weave, I think. It looks a bit kind of glittery. I don't even know what colour you would say this was. It's kind of a sort of a browny, sort of beige colour. It's quite a light colour, or maybe grey. A sort of a grey-brown, I would say. There's details on it. I think one of the issues that people had mentioned previously was that in the other reproduction from a few years back, some of these sort of printed on details were done sort of better, really, than they are on here. And I think certainly with the boots, her boots originally would have had an actual zip, rather than it being kind of moulded on and just kind of like painted silver so you can see that they're zips. There are definitely some nice details on this. Obviously there's kind of structure to this collar, because it has to sort of go up to make it look as if it's joining on to where the helmet is. There seems to be, I don't know if that's a button or what. I think it is. Is it a button? Actually, I'm not sure, and I don't really want to undo it because I'm worried about not being able to get it back again. I don't know if you can see it. It's just here. And it's got like a silver loop around it. Well, look, I've done it now, so it's too late. I presume that just kind of goes back on. But yeah, so there's a very small grey button there, which you can basically just hook that onto, if you like. If we go further down, we've obviously got a zip which goes down here, onto the front. We do have some kind of like leather details. None of the details, apart from the stripes around the kind of the forearms and around the thighs, are on the back. It may be nice if, you know, particularly these kind of strap things, if they had probably gone to the back as well, but they don't. And obviously I don't know what the original one was like anyway. So as I say, we do have these brown leather straps along the front there, which kind of buckle up to the front here, which I presume you have to undo to get the zip off. So we're going to do that. So this is obviously not leather, it's just a very thin sort of like a plastic material, which is brown in colour and does have a kind of a grain effect on it. It's the same as the ones that are just over the shoulders as well. And we've got these sort of gold sort of buckles and loops on there as well. It kind of feels odd that they're gold, I think, and the actual zip is silver. Maybe they could have done those silver as well, just to kind of match up with it, but I guess it would depend on what the original outfit looked like, perhaps. So yes, we can undo that, and then we can unzip this. Now I'm guessing she's possibly not got clothes on underneath. Oh, she's also got something around her neck here. Oh, this is unusual. So yeah, once you've actually undone that, she's also got something around her neck, which presumably is meant to be for the helmet, perhaps? I don't know. It's very strange. This bit is also attached. So it's a collar part, which is attached to the main kind of collar bit there. So, again, it's got another one of those kind of loops on a button, which you can do. And you would need to do that if you wanted to basically remove the actual jumpsuit. But as I say, I don't think she's got anything on underneath, so I might not want to go too down. Yeah, she doesn't have anything on. Well, look, the zip comes down and you'd be able to basically extract her from the suit that way. If we go further down, she's obviously got this thing on her tummy, which looks like some kind of control panel, perhaps. That just seems to be sort of printed on with some kind of plastic, I guess. We've got buttons here and they've got a big kind of dial or something on there. I'm not sure what it's meant to be. Possibly something to do with her sort of breathing apparatus, or maybe some sort of communication device, perhaps. Obviously, on the arms, we've got these kind of weird gloves, which I'm going to remove if I can. I'm presuming they're not attached. They're really odd. It feels odd that they've not even attempted to kind of put more of an indentation where the thumb would be. I mean, I'm guessing they come off, or are they stuck? Oh yes, so there's double-sided tape on them, which are keeping them on here. So you'll have to kind of pick that off, which hopefully won't. Oh, it's still left a bit of a stickiness on there. That's kind of annoying. I'm pretty sure you didn't need that kind of stuck on for it to stay on. I think it's pretty secure on there, to be honest. So our hand is free here now, and as you can see, we've got details on the hand, but we do not have a manicure, which is a bit sad. Poor Barbie, in space without a manicure. Who would have thought it? So then if we go further down, we've basically got the boots, which will easily come off. So she does have high-heeled feet, for anyone who's interested. I think a lot of people, as I mentioned, have bought these to basically redress them. So presumably, you know, you can get shoes that will fit and other kind of clothes and stuff like that. But I'm guessing her body is probably more in the kind of the vintage shape than the kind of the modern shape of Barbie. So look, I am going to get all her stuff on her, all her gear, and we'll have a final look at her together. So here is our Barbie, back in her box, at least on the backdrop of it anyway. I do really like this kind of image behind her because it's so retro. It goes very well with, you know, how she looks and of the era as well. The flag, unfortunately, she can't hold, so she has actually stuck it into the lunar surface there, or whatever planet she happens to be on. I do really like the doll. I think the whole retro look, you know, obviously is kind of right up my street. I wanted to get more retro kind of reproduction style dolls this year, so she's obviously ticked that box. I might not have chosen to get her in this outfit, but I do kind of like it, and there's a really kind of sort of a kitsch sort of 50s/60s sort of sci-fi element to it all, which I do appreciate. So, what are your thoughts? Do you have this doll? Have you redressed her? Let me know down in the comments below. Also, be sure to check out Kim, who will be unboxing a Barbie over on her channel, and I will put a link to her channel in the description box and in the title probably of this video as well. Big happy birthday wishes to Barbie. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please feel free to share the video with anyone else you know who might like this Barbie/astronaut/sci-fi content. And I will see you in the next one. So until then, take care. Bye.